This is a beginner's guide to Windsor, Ontario for 2024. This might be the year you move to a new area. You move to Windsor. This is your beginner's guide. This is the basics. This is how much do homes cost? What are the main industries? How's the economy in our area? How are the jobs? Where should I live? Where should you not live? What do Windsorites do for fun? All that is in this video. My name is Ryan. I am a real estate agent in the area. I know this place like the back of my hand. Feel free to, people call me all the time. I've helped so many people relocate to this area. That's my phone number. Feel free to give me a call and ask me any sort of question you want. 2024 is poised to be a year of growth in the Windsor, Essex area. Actually, Canada and Ontario as a whole. I mean, we are bringing in record levels of new Canadians, and we have been for a long time. Now, let's be honest. When people come to Canada from other countries, they move to Toronto, the GTA, and then after 6 months or a year, they look around and they go, oh my God, it's way too crowded and it's way too expensive. And then they move elsewhere. Windsor is one of the hot spots that they're moving, and part of it is because our houses are so much cheaper. Now, we'll talk about housing prices just in a little bit in this video, but in the meantime, you need to know it's not just people moving to this area, but it's also jobs. We have several different industries that are growing fast. We're kind of diversifying as a community too. For example, agriculture. That's been huge in this area for a long time. And now it's becoming more agro-tech. We have over 1,500 growing operations out in the county. Peppers, tomatoes, marijuana, wine, all that is growing in high-tech greenhouses with climate-controlled, semi-automated systems with year-round growing seasons. You need people not just to grow the food, but to service the tech in those greenhouses. We have advanced manufacturing industry, and this has been like our bread and butter for a long time. We have jobs here that are hard to outsource to another country because they require high levels of precision. And again, you need tech to service all of those industries. So tech is growing as well as those industries on their own. And of course, I mean, I don't want to bore you with the same details all the time. You've seen in my other videos the new EV battery plant. They're going to be hiring more people in 2024. You got the International Bridge going up, and you got the mega hospital that down the road will be built here and bring in more jobs as well. By the way, that International Bridge, that's huge for companies coming to this area. You can connect directly to the American interstate system right there. Like, you don't have to drive through Ontario to get down to this area to get into America. No, right here, you can connect to the I-75, the I-94, the I-95, the I-96. It's all right here. All right, let's get to the housing prices here, okay? So I've said before that they're cheaper than elsewhere in Ontario, and that's true. Right now, the average price of a house in Windsor sits around $515,000. As interest rates likely drop in 2024, this might go up. But right now, this is what you can get for about that price. Like this house right here sold right around that average price mark. It had 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, finished basement, and it's in a really nice area. So this home here, this is more in the 700 to 750 range. It's more modern. It's your typical raised ranch. It's going to have a finished basement, 3 bedrooms, maybe an extra in the basement, and then like 2 to 3 bathrooms. Okay, so for 2 stories, something like this, it's a bit older. It's going to be in the $800,000 to $900,000 range, most likely. And then this, much more modern, really nice area is going to sell more around $1 million. So take all that info and compare it to wherever you live right now, and that should give you a good idea of how much it's going to cost for you to come to this area and buy a home. If you need more help on figuring out the price of homes and whether you should move here, that's my phone number on the screen. I do this for a living. Feel free to give me a call. Also, weather. We're going to talk about why people all over Canada want to move to Windsor for the weather, okay? That is on the way. First, though, let's talk about the good areas and the bad areas. Okay, let's talk cheapest areas, and then we'll talk like the best areas, okay? So I'm going to do this real quick, but if you're coming to this area, you need the lowdown. Here are the areas that are most affordable, okay? Remington Park. Right here, you're going to pay around $350 for the average home. They're going to be small. 2 to 3 bedrooms, about the size of like a nice 2-bedroom apartment. But you got your own yard and your own driveway. No basement on these though. East Windsor, so this section right here, $350,000 to $450,000. They're a little bigger than what I just mentioned, and they're a little nicer as well than Remington Park. Walkerville is right here. You're paying again $350,000 to $450,000. This is more trendy, this area. It's a little bit more sought after, and if you're an investor, you're going to get a little bit higher rents. Also want to mention this little section of West Windsor right here. These, for some reason, are like shielded from all the students and from some of the crime that happens in the West End. And this little pocket here is filled with nice families who take care of their homes. It's a nice, quiet little area. Again, you're anywhere from $350 to $450 in this area. There are other cheap areas. I just don't typically advise people to move there all that often. Like when they call me and they're like, well, we want low crime. I'm like, well, don't move to this section. You can find more info on those sections in my video about the worst areas to live in Windsor. All right, let's talk the best areas of Windsor for 2024, okay? These are my opinions. Some people might disagree a little bit and put something else on the list, but here we go. LaSalle, technically, it's down here, it's its own city, but it acts as a suburb of Windsor. It's the most expensive neighborhood probably in Windsor. Statistically speaking, it's also the safest, one of the safest areas in all of Canada. Anywhere from $650 to like $2 million you're going to pay for a house in this area. Tecumseh is over here. It's very similar to LaSalle, except it's on the east side. Again, like $450 to $2 million. $550 to $2 million. The $550 ones, they're going to be townhomes. Lakeshore, even further east, it's a bit of a drive. This is the definition of suburbia. It's all like 20-year-old raised ranches and 2 stories. You will need a car, definitely, in this area to get anywhere. But it's nice, and it's safe, and it's quiet. Again, about $700K to $2 million in this area. Now, one thing I didn't mention is, okay, so you remember that battery plant making electric vehicle batteries that they're building? They're building that right here. This area, Forest Glade, it's okay, and it might get a boost in 2024 with people wanting to live near where they work. But I would also say this right here, this is East Riverside. It's a lot of more modern homes, anywhere from 0 years old, just being finished, to like 20, 25 years old. It's a very nice area and is really close to that battery plant. It's a 5-minute drive from most places. So, I mean, for 2024, I want to put this on the list as one of the better places to live. All right, let's talk weather, because I don't know where you're coming from. Like, you might even be coming from Toronto, and I'll tell you right now, the weather is a little bit different here. So it's New Year's Day right now, and I have yet to see snow this year. Now, I realize this year is El Nino. Weather's warmer across North America than it normally is in the winter, but this is last year. This is mid-January last year. Do you see snow? Nope, because you don't really get any. You might get like 1 week where it kind of looks like this, right? But it melts. It melts within a week normally. We really just do not keep snow around in this area. I find Windsor usually to be anywhere from 2 to 5 degrees warmer than it is like in Toronto, which might not sound like that much, but it makes a big difference, you know? Like in the middle of January or February or whatever, when it's, -4 in Toronto, it's 0 here, or it's 1 degree. Like that actually does make a big difference. It's a lot warmer. In the middle of the summer, when it's 27, 28 degrees in Toronto, it's like 32 degrees here, okay? Now, I personally don't even like that. Like, that's a negative for me. I don't like the heat. I'm a weirdo, okay? But you're probably a normal human, and you enjoy it a little bit warmer. Windsor might be the place for you. All right, healthcare. So this is something I haven't really spoken about in any other video because I just didn't really think about it because, I'm young and in perfect health, I'm just kidding. I just didn't think about it, okay? So I had somebody reach out to me from the East Coast looking to move to this area, and they told me, they're like, Ryan, I got to start thinking about living somewhere where I can get easy access to a doctor, because on the East Coast of Canada, I wait 6 to 8 hours just to get into a walk-in clinic to see a doctor. Holy crap. It's not like that in Windsor. Not like that at all. Okay, so you see this right here. This is TMC Medical Clinic. This is just a random medical clinic I've pulled up before that I've been to once. It's usually 30 minutes to 45 minutes to see a doctor. Maybe an hour if it's really busy. Now, Windsor does have a shortage of family doctors, as does every city in Canada. It doesn't seem to be that bad in Windsor, though. I have a family doctor. It wasn't too difficult for me to find one, and I'm sure you can find one too if you move to this area. In terms of hospitals, we have 3 right now, but they're going to shut them down and close and make one mega hospital right here on County Road 46 that I've told you about before. Now, this one hospital will do more than all those 3 did combined. They're going to have expanded practices at this hospital. So that's really nice. It's a boost for the community. Although I will say, still in southwestern Ontario, the main medical hub is London, Ontario. So if you have like a very specialized surgery, you might have to go up to London, or if you just need to speak to a specialist about something, there is a chance you might have to drive to London. For example, the Children's Hospital is there. But honestly, a lot of things are happening now in Windsor or they're going to be once we get this mega hospital built. All right, last but not least, Detroit is back, baby. I find people from other parts of Canada, they don't know this because they're not so close to it. They still think Detroit as this like rundown 8-mile M&M gangster land. It's not like that anymore. They've slowly been building back better and better and better. And we're honestly 5 to 10 years now into Detroit being a lot better than it used to be. Crime is lower than it's been in decades in Detroit. A lot of old buildings that were run down or demolished have now been built back up, and they're beautiful and grand. You can probably go on YouTube and find videos about this. Like, Detroit is back. And best of all, if you live in Windsor, it's like 7 minutes from your house. Like, you can be downtown Detroit in 7 minutes. If you're in Mississauga or Brampton, you probably go to Toronto for all your big events. How long does that take you? It's congested, it's expensive, it's terrible, all right? Whereas I can get to Detroit in 7 minutes, I can go see a Wings game, I can go see a Tigers game, and it's way cheaper than it would be in Toronto, even after you convert the dollars. I'm telling you, you want to go buy Detroit Red Wings tickets and pay for parking and have a night out, then convert it to Canadian currency, it's still going to be cheaper than going to see a Toronto Maple Leaf hockey game or even a Blue Jays game, I'm telling you. Even just besides sports and concerts, and it's just random events that are nice to go to. You take the kids to the Macy's Day Parade, you could. In Detroit there, they have the big Christmas tree lighting ceremony downtown. It's absolutely beautiful in downtown Detroit when they get that big Christmas tree up. All of that is accessible to you. It's less crowded than Toronto, and it's a short drive away. By the way, if you like to travel like I do, this is the best thing ever. Look at these flights. Detroit to Miami, under $200 Canadian. Detroit to Vegas, under $200 Canadian. If you're flying out of Pearson, you're making a mistake. Okay, it's consistently ranked the worst airport in like the world. Pearson is. It's crowded. It's congested. The security hate you for some reason. It's not fun. I hop over the border. I go to the Detroit airport. There's barely anyone there. The security guys are in a good mood. You go through security, you get on the plane, there's no problems, and it's way cheaper to fly in the U.S. because it's technically a domestic flight. Save your money, save the stress, and just fly out of Detroit. It's way better. So that's like your quick rundown of Windsor for 2024. I hope that that's helpful. If I didn't answer something that you want to know, that's my phone number. You can just give me a call or shoot me a text, and I'll answer it the best I can. And if you're looking to move to the Windsor area and you need some help, I can help you buy a place. That's my phone number right there on the screen.